What is up, people? It's your girl Karen Jacqueline right here on What They Go On at Yo Charlie Studios. You guys already know Yo Charlie Studios. What They Go On, we come here every Monday to Friday. Okay, Monday to Friday, we bring you what's going on around you in Ghana, Africa, and the world. So don't miss a beat. Stay tuned from Monday to Friday. Now, we live in a country where a man will be involved in a hit-and-run accident. He will face serious shoulder damages, and then he will not even get a bed to lay on in any of the major hospitals in Ghana. In 2026, I can't even believe this is what is happening in Ghana, right? Like, 2026. What is going on here? So, in case you guys don't know what's happening, a gentleman by the name of Charles Amissah, he passed away recently because he was involved in a hit-and-run accident. The driver hit him around Circle Overpass and he ran away, okay? But EMS came on board, they helped stabilize him, and they were trying to get him to a hospital because they are just emergency medical services. Obviously, they are going to do first aid and things. He suffered severe shoulder damages, right? So they can't really treat him. All they can do is stabilize him and get him to the hospital. After a hospital, omunya bed. They went to police hospital, there were no available beds. They went to Ridge Hospital, no available beds. They went to Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, no available beds. This man lost his life because we don't have beds in the hospital. It's not even because of the accident, because he did not die because of the accident. EMS were able to stabilize him, so he wasn't going to die. But simply because he couldn't get a place to lay his head in order to receive treatment, this man lost his life. Yeah. Just 29 years, and he was an engineer at Promasido. So this is an important person in society, okay? He's not just anybody, okay? He has value. He's making an impact in society. He has a job. He has a family. And this man has just lost his life over something that could have been easily prevented. Into Omuko Police Hospital, Omwenya bed, Omuko Ridge, Omwenya bed, Korle Bu Omwenya bed. 3 hospitals. If one of them had available beds for this man, he would still be alive today. And to make matters worse, Omudru Korle Bu na I don't know what they were trying to do. So Omu bed, I said they were talking, and the cardiac arrest. So he actually passed away at Korle Bu. Inti akoye se owu wo Korle Bu ninti akodani Korle Bu responsibility. So they've decided to interdict 2 doctors and 2 nurses who were alleged to be the ones who were responsible for his death or demise because they couldn't take care of him. They couldn't give him the necessary medical attention that he needed. And say because they are having an internal investigation. They're trying to find out exactly what happened, why there were no beds, what they could have done to save this man's life. Because shoulder injuries, fine, they were very severe shoulder injuries, but it wasn't something that was supposed to lead to his death. Cardiac arrest, no, if they could have even given him the necessary medical attention that he needed, he would have survived this. He would have survived it. 2026, we are not even supposed to be having this. Like, I feel like the government, sometimes when we talk, they don't really pay attention to us till things like this happen. Because people will be complaining about not having beds. Women will go and give birth in hospitals. They'll be laying on the floor with their newborns because there are no beds available. And we just skim over these things. They're irrelevant. Now it has cost somebody their life. Certain instances, you can't just treat the person on the floor. You can't tell the person to go and lie down. The person actually needs to be in a bed. They can't perform it on the floor if it's some kind of maybe shoulder dislocation that they need to readjust and things. They can't put the person in a chair. This person was already unconscious. So they can't just mishandle him anyway. Be pick a crowd with me. And away because bro, I don't think things like this should even be happening in 2026. Like, we are too far gone for things like this to be happening. We've been complaining about this for how many years? We are complaining of the same issues. Then one person will pass away, nothing will happen. And to be honest, I feel like this is not even the first time things like this will happen. It's just that this man, Charles Amissah, he happens to be somebody prominent. So obviously, the people that he works for or the people that he's involved with will be trying to find out what happened. What if it was just a regular John Doe from the streets who was hit? He would have passed away and nobody would have even heard anything. And we are losing people's lives simply because of the fact that there are no available beds. Like, that is so ridiculous to me. If it was the fact that maybe there weren't doctors available, or maybe the damages or the injuries were too much for them to treat, it would make more sense than the fact that there were no beds. Like, that is such a ridiculous reason for somebody to lose their life. And when things like this happen and we are blaming the government, people say, na they be blaming government. Then I government bit me, then I government bit me. Personally, government cannot influence the actions of people. Okay, the person who was driving the car and hit the man and he drove away, obviously government can't do anything about it because that was a personal decision on his part to run away. But it's the government's job to make sure that we have beds in the hospital. That is something that is within their powers, within their control. So yes, we are going to blame the government, especially in a hospital like Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. That is not owned by any private entity. It's for the government. So who else are we going to blame? And to add insult to injury, it's not even the fact that, number one, this man has lost his life. We have somebody who is in an influential position, someone who even should be coming to tell us the steps in which they are taking to maybe catch the perpetrator or maybe solve this in a way that something like this will not repeat itself. Someone like Bridget Otu, that we know you're a presidential staffer. Okay, you have direct links to the president, to the administration, to the government. Come and tell us something that will chitter our area. You are coming to ask us questions. She made a post on X, and in the post she's saying no bed was horrible, but is there an ongoing investigation to find the cruel driver for this hit and run? No cameras on that street, shops, cameras, etc. There's a criminal on the loose. Are you asking us, the public, on what we are going to do to catch the thief? I don't even understand. Who are you asking? Are you asking the police? I don't understand. What do you mean no bed was horrible? I don't like the fact that she just glazed over the fact that no bed was horrible and just jumped to us trying to find the hit and run driver. I don't get that part, because it was no bed that this man lost his life. It wasn't even because of the hit and run. Charles Amissah did not die simply because of the hit and run. He incurred injuries, yes, but that wasn't why he passed away. He passed away because they couldn't even give him the necessary medical attention because there were no beds. He had a cardiac arrest and he passed away. It was not even because of the hit and run driver. Why are we glazing over that very important fact to not come and talk about the driver? Also, whose responsibility is it to catch the driver? We are just citizens, so what can we do about it? You are asking if there were no cameras on the street. Who is supposed to provide cameras on the streets? If you go to other countries, they have cameras at every vantage point. Nothing is going to happen without them finding footage on it. They have traffic cameras everywhere. And per my knowledge, the previous administration, they installed cameras. They installed cameras everywhere. So what happened to those cameras? Are they no longer working? Do they not have footage on those cameras? This is something you should be telling us, because we are not even in direct link to the administration. We don't know what is going on. We don't know what steps they are trying to take. We don't really know much apart from what we are being told. So how are you, a presidential staffer, asking us common floor members that there's a criminal on this? What can we do about it? We are not the police. We are not the government. So I feel like that tweet was very unnecessary, because I don't even know what point she's trying to make here. Shops cameras. So now we are relying on people's shops cameras to catch a hit and run criminal. Like, I don't understand. Also, where this incident occurred, Circle Overpass. Whose shop is in Circle Overpass? Even if there are shops around, whose shop camera is going to capture that incident? It has to be the traffic cams. It has to be. That's the only type of camera that I feel will be able to capture such a thing. You are supposed to come and tell us. We should be asking you these questions. I don't understand. And I'm not the only one who has this opinion, to be honest. Ex-fans, like ex-users, are also complaining. Someone said, you are a presidential staff and you are asking us these questions for what exactly? Yes, why are you asking us? Someone said, what's the point of this post? You are in government and has the power to ensure investigations into this. Asking if there were no cameras and whatever are the questions that needs to be directed to Ghana police and your government. And that is facts. That is exactly what I'm saying. If you guys are not going to do anything about it, don't just come and glaze over your responsibility to now put the blame on us, or even try and like transfer blame or try and change the subject. Like, I don't even understand the whole point of this. The man has passed away. What are we doing to prevent this from happening again? How are we going to catch the person who hit and ran? Those are the questions we need to be asking. What is shop camera? What does shop camera even have to do with this? There's a criminal on the loose. We are well aware. What is the government doing about it? What's the police doing about it? That's what we need to find out. It's not about pointing blame and trying to figure out how else we could have prevented this from happening. We all know what could have prevented this from happening. If there were beds, it wouldn't have happened in the first place. I feel like the only thing we as citizens can do is that those who were around, maybe when it happened, we don't know the exact time it happened, but I'm assuming it happened at night if he was able to get away that easily. Maybe there were people around, maybe they saw something, maybe they can identify the car. So even with that one, at least we can do something about it. We can contribute. If there's an investigation and the police goes to the scene of the crime and they ask questions, the eyewitnesses can provide their account. That's the best we can do as citizens. We can't go and catch the person. We don't have the resources. We don't even know what the person looks like. This is where we give the mantle over to the police. We tell you what we saw. Oh, maybe the car was green. He went in this direction. Then you guys take over. Because it's your job. It's the job of the police, the job of the government to make sure that the citizens are safe. So that even when things like this happen, we know we can catch the person and we can also save the victim's life. That is what the government is for. What are we going to be doing? That's why we have appointed people to make these decisions and be able to do these things for us, because we can't go and do them ourselves. So if things like this will happen and then you will later come and ask us, then where are we going? It's like we are going around in circles. And things like this will probably happen again and again and again. Maybe Charles Amissah, maybe he's a little popular, maybe he's a little important, so we heard about his case. What about the several others who we would deem not important? Would their deaths just go unnoticed? Their families, who will take care of them? Like, these are the things that are important. It's not you coming to ask us questions to throw us off the case. That is not what is necessary right now. So, Bridget Otu, to be honest, this your tweet about Charles Amissah's passing is completely insensitive and very unnecessary. To be honest, you could have kept it. Because we don't need it. This is not the solution that we need. We don't need you, the presidential staffer, asking us questions about what we are going to do to catch the criminal on the loose. This is a very unfortunate incident. We hope and pray this doesn't happen again. We send our condolences to Charles Amissah's family, to Promasidor. They held a vigil because he was their engineer. And I'm sure they will miss him very much. He probably was a very huge contribution to their company. We, extend our condolences to everybody who was involved, and we really do hope that the criminal is caught. So let me know what you guys think about this entire story, how you feel we could have handled it differently, how we can prevent this from happening again, to be honest. And I'll see you guys in the next video.